Continuing in the Garden of Emuna, we're on page 192, learning the Holy Torah. And part of this same subject of listening to the rabbis and incorporating Torah in our life will help us become sane, will help us listen to the voice of reason. So what is he discussing over here? He's discussing how the Yetzer Hara has an ability to make us crazy. And what can save us from that? The only thing that can save us from that is the Torah. Like it says, Barati Yetzer Hara, Barati Torah Tavlin. There's one thing, there's the antidote for the Yetzer Hara, and that's the Torah. Why? Because the Yetzer Hara's job is to make us crazy. The Yetzer Hara was created to make us not do Avodat Hashem, to make us mistake, to mislead us, and to constantly bring us down. Why? Not to hurt us, but to be our benefit. Well, how does that benefit you if the Yetzer Hara is constantly hitting you? Well, the same way the guy who just walks through the gym and doesn't do anything and doesn't pull a sweat, so he's not going to help himself. He's not going to build muscle. He's not going to lose weight or whatever he's trying to accomplish. Because very nice, you went to the gym, but you didn't get on any machines. You didn't do anything. You didn't lift a weight. But when you lift weights, isn't that difficult for him? That now causes some resistance. And that's what builds you. So that's the Yetzer Hara's job as well. So Hashem gave him the ability to do this, to build us, not to bring us down. So if that's true, so how do we win? So that's where the Torah comes in. But until then, right now we're just mad. Person is mad completely. He's listening to the Yetzer Hara. Everything we do, how many things do we do that we know outright we shouldn't be doing, and we still do them? Even not in a religious fashion. Just take, for example, somebody is a diabetic, and they can't help themselves, and they have sugar. Or somebody, Has v'shalom, is heavy, and they eat a piece of cake. Whatever it is, they know that it's not good for them. They have high cholesterol. There's so many things we do or against what we should be doing. That's called insanity to some level. But the insanity of not listening to Hashem is much worse, because a person is only sick, and meaning all those things don't affect him the same way. Avonot affect us. Of course, a person shouldn't go crazy and just eat sugar. He has to take care of himself. But a person won't die from that if it's not his time. That's what we're teaching here. That's what Emuna is, right? A person could try to kill himself, and if Hashem doesn't let, it's not going to happen. The most important rule is that Hashem sent us down to do a job. And what's our job? To follow the Torah, to serve Him, to make His name great, to sanctify Hashem's name in this world. So, until we complete the mission of completely nullifying the Yetzer Hara, and stop being mad, stop being insane. Because what's the two options? How do you fix an insane person? What do you do? Well, number one is you tie him down. The guy is in the garbage or taking off all his clothes, running in the street. Right? What do you do with this guy? So you tie him down and you wait till he becomes normal and you try to reason with him. Try to talk to him, and he said, yeah, I know, I need help, I don't know, something's wrong, right? Because still somewhere he has an underlying thing of rationale at some point. So you beat him up until you get him to make the right decision for a minute. And then, if you have such a person that's this crazy, you go to tzaddikim and you ask the Rashash to write you a kamiyah, and you put it on the guy to keep away the evil spirits. Because like we explained before, what is emotion? What is mental illness? It's spirituality. So at this point, how do we beat up the Yetzer Hara, the Meshuggah, the Yetzer Hara now? So now he explained that you have these two things. You have to subdue the guy, and you have to get rid of the evil thoughts. So the Torah gives us the ability, this double power to fight the Yetzer Hara. What does it do? It gives us the ability to subdue him. Why? Because when we're learning Torah, when we're using our mind, when we're involved in holy things, so already that brings down the Yetzer Hara. That already subdues the Yetzer Hara. It says a person has the Yetzer Hara, run to the Bet Midrash, right, and go learn Torah. So that's our job. So go learn Torah. That already subdues the Yetzer Hara. You're involved in something, you can't be doing something else. If you're involved in working, generally people are not involved in sins. You're busy. Then number 2 is you have to dispel the disguise that what he's telling you to do is okay. And what he was telling you to do is maybe even sometimes a mitzvah. I have to yell at this guy because if not, he'll never learn. And it's l'shem shamayim. We have to know what's l'shem shamayim, what's not l'shem shamayim. I'm not saying that a person can't make that decision on his own, but don't, again, let the Yetzer Hara come in and make that decision. Make sure you're making the decision not from emotion, but from holy intellect, which is what? Which is da'at Torah, which is the same concept here. We have to know what's a mitzvah and what's not a mitzvah. How do you know that? By learning the Torah. Barati Yetzer Hara, Barati Torah Tavlim. We must all get very serious about Limud Torah. Start learning a lot. And the more we put our mind in the Torah, the more our mind will work in other areas. The more our mind will work in business, the more our mind will work. Because once we understand what Hashem wants, which is what? To nullify yourself completely, that you do nothing, ask Him for help, ask Him to do it for you. And then when you get to that level, then everything works well. But they go hand in hand. You have to learn Torah so that you're close to Him, so that thank you Hashem will be even more powerful. Hatzlacha rabah.